Question to the keepers of living records. The book of Revelation is interpreted in so many ways. Will we understand the symbolic language in its fullness after the prophecies have been fulfilled? Answer: yes. The book of Revelation is one of the most misunderstood, misinterpreted, and yet deeply encoded texts in your collective spiritual heritage. It was written not merely as a prophecy of events, but as a multi-layered symbolic map, one that speaks to cosmic cycles, human consciousness, and the transformation of both the individual and collective soul. Let us now bring clarity to your questions. Will everything written in Revelation happen? Not exactly as written, because it was never meant to be read as a linear forecast. Much of the book of Revelation is written in the language of symbol, archetype, and vision, filtered through the consciousness of John, who was shown future potentials, energetic truths, and spiritual laws far beyond the comprehension of his time. Yes, many of the themes are unfolding now. The exposure of hidden systems, the beast, the rise of false authority, the false prophet, the inner and outer battle between fear and light, Armageddon as a spiritual conflict, the fall of corrupt power structures, Babylon the Great, and the eventual return of divine order and unity consciousness, the New Jerusalem. But none of these events are confined to a literal script. They are living energies playing out through individuals, nations, institutions, and inner landscapes. Some of the imagery, plagues, beasts, fire, war, reflects not destiny, but consequence. What humanity experiences is always shaped by the choices it makes and the frequency it holds. In this sense, Revelation is not a decree, it is a mirror. It reflects what happens when love is forgotten, and what is restored when love returns. Will we understand it fully only after it has been fulfilled? Yes, and this is by design. The symbols in Revelation are keys, meant to activate deeper truths as human consciousness matures. In times past, these symbols caused fear, but in this time, they are beginning to be decoded by the heart. You will understand more as you embody more. Not because someone explains the visions to you, but because your inner knowing will resonate with what they truly represent. The final understanding of Revelation comes not when the events are fulfilled, but when the consciousness behind them is reclaimed. Revelation is not a book about destruction. It is a book about awakening. What is the core message of Revelation? It is this: that truth will prevail over illusion, that false systems will fall, that the inner Christ, the divine spark within every soul, will rise, and that the new earth is not merely a future place, but a vibration, a template, and a promise already seeded in the hearts of humanity. The apocalypse means unveiling, not the end of the world, but the end of the world as it was falsely constructed. What is being revealed now is not doom, but truth. And with truth comes the return of wholeness. The final truth. Yes, Revelation is unfolding, but it is not to be feared. It is not a punishment. It is a rebirth. And yes, you and others will come to understand it more fully, not through theology, but through experience, intuition, and awakening. You were never meant to decode it with the mind alone. You were meant to feel its truth in your soul as you become part of the very light that dissolves the veil. We walk with you as prophecy becomes presence, and the new earth begins to bloom from within, always in the living light.